My eyes crawl to a table. Paralyzed by pairwise dice, then attend to this heaven slice of an angel wrapped in skin. Roll dice and woes of life. Love deprived, look at her vibe. What's the meaning of life? One subjective paradise. Crystal chandeliers, moments reflected. Often mirrors appear, clear, grid from ear to ear. Craving and raining and grain, rekindle the flame. Closer she draws near, stay there. Remove your underwear, shove it somewhere over there. In paradise, in paradise. We know our purpose. In paradise, in paradise. We know what our worth is. In paradise, in paradise. We manifest dreams. In paradise, truth is what you conceive.
Boom. Yes, it is. The truth is what you can see. Hello, everybody, and welcome to this edition of the Unpopular Hour. Of course, I'm your host, Matt Clark, and it is Wednesday. Sorry we missed you guys the last couple of days. Monday, we went to Rococo. The computer just completely crashed on me. I got everything just pretty much set up for last night to do the show, but hell, the game to get over to whenever I was so exhausted. And plus, on After the Storm, we don't really do. Uh, uh, we don't really do after show games. We beat the hell out of people. We just go ahead and do it the next day here on the Unpopular Hour. We do the repeat of the show or repeat of the game because there's here we can do it in a few minutes and move on, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, move on. But when we do the after the storm, it's kind of hard. Plus, on top of that, when you beat the crap out of somebody, I did not know that Kawhi was not going to play last night, nor did Bradley Beal. I don't know why the Clippers are so old, but once again, Mets, Jets, Clippers, Browns. They are who they are. It just amazes me. It really does how some of these teams are. When you look at Oklahoma City, how we came uh, from the Seattle SuperSonics. Took us a couple years. You do KD and Ibaka, and then you get Russell and James Harden. All of a sudden, within 2 years, you're in the finals. So that's by how quickly you can rebuild, which Sam Presti did. Then of course he went through the stage where he wasn't doing what he's doing now by using the draft to really recruit players who can really truly help us. Then he just says, "The hell with it, let's just revamp. We get SGA and Dort, which is what you built the franchise on, and then you get Josh Giddey, then you get J Dub and Chet." Then you get Kaysen, and then you get Isaiah Hartenstein and Caruso, and the rest is history. So that's what you're doing. Of course, then you get AJ Mitchell, which has been a great surprise in what he's been able to give the Thunder. Even last year, I thought he was playing well. And so anyway, with those things said, it allowed the Thunder to really have a deep bench. And it's so funny is. I listen to some of these people talk about the Thunder, and I'm like, it's crazy how their perception of who we are, who the Thunder are now. And I'm like, where were you guys when we were going through all the stuff that we were going through? Where were you then? You guys were nowhere to be found. I know what it was like. I was there. I was, me and the commander, Randy Wright, Mark Long, a few of us were the only ones that were there. And it's like, oh, we have 13,000. No, we don't. We might have 8,500 or 9,000 people at we hold 18,400, whatever it is. I'm like, no, there's not that many. About paid, yes, but actual in attendance, no. And I remember when all the suites were just pretty much closed, except for your main guys. Like I want to say, oh my God, Steve Rapp's company, the water company. They were open. Greg Nafee and them, they had their deal. You had Mathis Brothers, they had theirs. You had the bank, they had theirs. So there were several companies who stayed with the whole process. And then once we started growing and we started getting better, that's when all of a sudden all the suites were open. Because, Mark Long and I were talking about that the other day. That we were walking, we were like, man, look at all, it's funny. Remember, we laughed again. Remember 4 years ago when all these doors were closed and there was nobody in here? So, quite frankly, that's how you build a program. So when you look at the Thunder and how they went from down here to up here, back down, and now we're back up again. and how Sam Presti learned from his mistakes and how he moved on versus some of these organizations. I'm like, you can rebuild, but first of all, you got to get a superstar. You got to get a superstar. Then you got to add a couple guys with him. Now, fortunately, through us, we added through the draft. By getting Josh Giddey, by getting Chet, by getting J Dub, by getting by Kaysen, by getting AJ Mitchell, and then you traded for. And I think we got Wiggins. I think I want to say I think we drafted Wiggins too. But then you trade and you go through the trade and you go through and you pick up an Isaiah Joe and you pick up a Caruso and you pick up an iHeart, and then your team is set. And I hear all these people talk about it. I'm like, you guys, you talking about how young we've been doing this for 5 years. You guys weren't there when I was sitting there when Mark Long and I were sitting there laughing, and the commander Randy Wright. We were all laughing because man, look, we got a squad here. When all we had was Josh and SGA and Dort and Wiggins. I think K. Rich, Kendrick Williams was there too. And I said, you could just see that we had a squad, that we had some players. We're like, oh man, we got a little game here. And then the next year you add Chet and J-Dub, which really you just added J-Dub because Chet didn't play. And you could just see we went from 23 wins to 40. And you could just see the growth of what the Thunder were doing. And all of a sudden, I'm just laughing at these people. And I'm like, man, it's crazy. Where were you guys back in the day? This is the same team, and we've won by one thing or two things. We've won by playing great defense, shutting you down at the end, and SGA closing the door. That's how we've won. We've been doing it for 5 years. But unfortunately, you people are just now watching us, so you're just now getting it. And last night was a perfect example. I was talking to my friend Jennifer Foxstein, and we were laughing, and, I go, oh, they're starting out good. I go, it's not how you start, it's how you finish. And teams that typically start fast usually don't finish fast for whatever reason. If you start out quickly going, you usually run out of energy. It's all that built up, everything built up, all that energy built up, and then eventually you run out of gas. Because we know, based on our defense, at some point in the third quarter or the fourth quarter, we're going to get a 4 or 5 minute run. And we went on, a 30 to 6, 35 run or something crazy last night. And that's what happens. Now, it's funny that SGA has just got his 80th 20-point game in a row. And I laugh at that because I've been harping on this since the end of last year. And now all of a sudden everybody's talking about it. I'm laughing. I'm like, I've been talking about this since the end of last year when I saw him getting ready to catch KD. Now all of a sudden it went from KD's record. Now all of a sudden they go to, well, Wilt Chamberlain has 126, which I said he has 126 and he has 92 in a row. And SGA is at 80. And I'm laughing because before that, it was KD's record, and they said KD had the record for 72 most consecutive 20-point games in 72, which is since the merger. Now that it's SGA, all of a sudden, it's the third best. All of a sudden. Then they bring in Oscar Robertson, who he beat last night. And I'm like, okay, just do that from the very beginning. Wilt Chamberlain, I've been saying this, I thought Wilt Chamberlain was at 124. I was wrong, it's 126. And he was at 92, and I thought it was more than that. But anyway, he had the two biggest records, and I knew that. I knew Oscar Robertson was third. But they never counted that till now. Now they're saying, okay, SGA is third. Now, the way I look at it is you can take that one of two ways. You can take that as, number one, they're trying to give it an historical precedent, saying, look at what this man is doing, and the only person above him right now is Wilt Chamberlain, who was the most dominant center. He and Shaq are the two most dominant centers, physically dominant centers in the history of the game. Well, to me, Kareem is still the best center of all time, but those two were the most dominant in their periods. So, are you comparing him to that now, which I'm okay with, but my thing is this, when KD when you talk about KD was had the most 20-point games in a row, you didn't bring up Wilt. You didn't bring up Oscar Robertson. You didn't say they were in front of him. No one said that. Now all of a sudden they're tracking SGA, and I think it's funny because I've been tracking this for how long now? Since the end of last year. I was tracking it. Now all of a sudden, it's popular. And I just laugh. And my friend and I, we were laughing about the other day because they were like, man, everybody's doing your deal now. So I know it's funny now. All these people who have way more viewers than I do, have way more listeners than I do, And I'm like, you don't even know what the hell's going on. You're saying stuff that's just whatever popular. I'm like, do people really want to know the intricacies of what's happening? And I say no, they don't. They like the overall. When you look at all the channels that are successful, it's a bunch of nonsense because that's what people are about, entertainment, and it's about entertainment. It's not about substance. It's just not. But it should be about substance and entertainment, in my opinion. So SGA is now 12 games away from being second behind Will Chamberlain. And, we'll look at what Oklahoma City has coming up. So I'm assuming he's going to get the record because as long as he's playing, I don't see him not getting 20 points unless he gets hurt. That's the only thing, and knock on wood, that doesn't happen. But anyway, the Thunder took care of business 126-107 last night against the Clippers. No Kawhi, like I said, and no Bradley Beal, which helped the Thunder. But James Harden was on fire from the beginning. And my thing with Dort is I'm worried about him. I'm like, dude, he got hurt again. He got hurt last night with his shoulder. But I'm like, why are you committing stupid fouls again like you used to? That's the reason why you were not our defensive team a few years ago. It's because you were doing stupid fouls. And I believe for the last 4 or 5 years, Dort is one of the top 15, not top 10 best defensive players. I think top 5 to me in the league. But he would commit stupid 3-point foul. I mean, he fouled James Harden twice on 3-point line on stuff that just makes no sense. Why are you fouling him? Why are you slapping him on the arm? What are you doing? Isaiah Joe committed a stupid 3-point foul. What are y'all doing? Why are you fouling? Just get your hand up, or you saw Casey Wallace. Just raise his hands. Just raise your hands up. Thunder are now 8-0 with a 126-107 victory last night. And I just love the way we're playing. I did not see, like I said, I thought that we would be 8-2, 7-3 at worst in our first 10 games because we got by. We pretty much got by the games that I thought were tough for us. We've got one more tough game, I believe, and that's the Kings. It's always hard for us to play against them. But we've now beaten the Clippers 6 straight times, and SGA just kills them every time he sees them. He just does. And it's simply because they traded him. And I can't. Can you really blame him? You're in LA and you go from LA to Oklahoma City. Can you really blame him? I don't. Clippers were 18 for 43 from 3. Thunder were 18 of 38, which is high 40s, which we need to be back up because we're a better shooting team than what we have been shooting earlier. But we're back to about the number of shots that I wanted shooting from 3. 41% from the field from them, 52 for us. They out-rebounded us by 2. Zubac is just a monster inside. He just is. Now, you don't have to worry about Brook Lopez because he's out there shooting threes. But Zubac is a monster. And then, of course, what I heard, not playing as many minutes, I think he got in foul trouble. That's what hurt us. Pips points in the paint, 50-30, us doing what we do. Turnovers, they had 19, us doing what we do. 11 turnovers for us doing what we do. And then you look at bench scoring 54-35. So that had a lot to do with it. Now, the box score, which I thought was really interesting the way that this was laid out, because when you look at the box scoring, okay, you look, Ihart, how many fouls did he end up having? Let me see. He had 2 personal fouls, but he played 24 minutes. I thought he had more fouls than that. But Jay Will has been playing well, and he had 13 minutes last night. Jay Will played really good. But Ihart, 10 points last night, 4 steals, which is crazy, 3 assists, 7 boards. I thought he played magnificent last night to me. I like what he was doing last night. He played really good. Chet, once again, 30 minutes, 11 points, 5 rebounds, 3 assists. Chet was the only one of starters who played 30 minutes, which is interesting that he played more minutes than SGA, which doesn't usually happen. But Chet, I thought, was great last night. Even though he had 11 points, I thought he was significant in his ability. What he does is change his shots, just his presence inside. Now, Zubac pushes him around because he just doesn't have the weight. He just doesn't have the weight, which is why Jay Will and Ihart have been. That's what the significance that they make to our Thunder team is. Chet can now play the 4, and those guys are in the 5, and they can't get. We can only get pushed around. SGA does what SGA does. 30 points in 29 minutes. I don't know what else there is to say. 30 points in 29 minutes. He's just a monster. He just absolutely is. And we have to appreciate the fact of what we have with this young man who's in front of us doing the things that he does, because he is just an absolute beast. And what he does for the Thunder makes all the difference uh, for our team. Because remember, we don't have J Dub, and we haven't missed a beat. Just like we didn't miss a beat with him last year when he got hurt, and we went on that 5-game streak when Casey Wallace took over as starter for him. We didn't miss a beat, and we haven't missed a beat without him. Now, that being said, do we need J Dub? Absolutely, we do. We're not gonna win a title without J Dub. That's crazy to even think that. If somebody thinks that, you're an idiot. But SGA, 30 points, 12 rebounds, 3 blocks, which is crazy. Leads our team in blocks. And that's just insane. 64% from the field, 80% from three, 8.9 or 8 for 9 from the 3-point line. I mean, from free throw line. So he's now back up at 88.9%. Plus 2, plus minus, which is crazy. I thought he was played better than that. But he's just doing what SGA does. He really does. He just does what SGA does. Lou Dort hurt his shoulder last night running into Zubac, which he's just a mountain. And if you've played basketball before and you got hit by a pick before, you know exactly how he feels. That hurts. Dude, you run into a big boy, it hurts. People set screens that you don't see it coming and you get hit, man. It, depending on where it does, it hurts. It really does. But anyway, Lou Dort, 6 points last night, 3 rebounds, no assists, and 1 for 3 from 3, which is not bad. Only shot 4 times, but it was only 15 minutes, so you got to figure that if he'd have played another 13, 14 minutes, he's probably going to take at least 3 more shots. So he's going to do 7 or 8 shots a game, which is about what I want him shooting. I prefer that those be all threes, if not, 1 or 2 layups. I mean, that's just me. Kaysen, he's playing better and better and better. Slowly but surely, we're getting what we thought we were going to get out of him. And he seems like he's a better starter than he is coming off the bench. But he's playing really, really good lately. Like what I'm seeing for Kaysen. 25 minutes, 12 points, 55% from the field, 3 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 steal. His defense has been spectacular. We need him hitting the 3 because he's shooting wide open, so you got to knock those down. Jay Will, like I said, I have 0 problems with Jay Will. I like what I'm seeing from Jay Will. But I want him to knock down more threes. He's 1 for 3. Dude, you're wide open. You got to be able to knock down these threes. You're wide open. Now, you're only taking 3 or 4. I mean, get 1 for 3 is not bad. Don't get me wrong. But you need to be 2 for 3. You need to be 2 for 4. You need to be 3 for 5. Or 3 for 6. 2 for 4. You know what I'm saying? That's where he needs to be when he's knocking down threes. And he just has to be. And, if he shoots another one, he goes 2 for 4, I'm perfectly comfortable with that. I'm even 2 for 5, I'm not really upset with that either. But he needs to make down more shots because he's wide open. He's got to get better. His body does look better. Him losing weight is not as big as he was. Jang, it's Jang. I don't see him being with us. I just don't. Brandon Carlson, not bad. He's thin. He's got a little weight on him. But still going 0 for 1 from 3. That's what you're there to do, is to shoot the basketball. So there to knock down threes. Got a nice shot. Got a nice alley-oop last night. A nice finish. Or was it a dunk or tip dunk? Anyway, got a bucket. Alex Caruso does what Alex Caruso does. 24 minutes, 8 points. Love me some Alex Caruso. 2 for 5, 40%. I like that from 3. Isaiah Joe was magnificent. 21 points, 22 points in 21 minutes. 6 for 10 from 3. Now, we know we're not going to get that out of him a lot. But remember, the middle of 2023-24 is when he was there. Okay, and he was doing his thing. 23-24 is from the middle of that, and then all of last year, he had not been the same guy. They had cut him off, and he's slowly starting to rebound from that because he's a better shooter, and I really like him if he's knocking down shots. He gets enough of them. And you got to remember, though, he would not have taken 10 shots last night had J-Dub been back playing. That's not happening. And Wiggins was playing. Dort had been playing, so the playing time for him does not allow him to get up that many shots during a regular game. And Wiggins, 12 points. He plays good. I just want him defensively to be better. I don't like the fact that his defense has gone down. I don't like that at all. I'm not a fan of that. Chris Youngblood and A.J. Mitchell. Youngblood's not bad. He's getting a few minutes in crunch time, or not crunch time, but in cleanup time. I like this kid. I like his potential of what he could be. A.J. Mitchell is a monster. 8 points in 20 minutes. I like everything about him. 3 assists, 4 steals, 4 rebounds, and better defender. Like him. I wish he would just knock down more threes. That would be helpful because his 3-point shooting is slowly starting to go down. And when you look at the team percentage, shooting percentage, this is what I'm talking about. When you look at now, this is updated as of this morning. So this is including last night's game. Usually I don't do these like that, but today I had plenty of time to get some stuff done because the game was up late, and I was up late, and I woke up early because last night was a long night. Anyway, SGA, 33 points, 53% from the field, 32% from the three. Remember, he was shooting 18% from three. Now he's up to 32%, 89% from the line. If SGA has a 30-point, 50% shooting, 40% from three, and 90% from the free throw line, that is just epic stuff. I think Steph Curry was the last person to do 50, 40, 90, which is 50% field goal shooting, 40% from three, and 90% from the line. I think he was the last one to do that. I think he still did. I don't know if he averaged 30. I need to go back and look at that. But that would be monstrous. Plus, if SGA continues his streak, this will be his 4th year in a row that he averaged 30 and shot 50. The only person to do that is Michael Jordan, did it 5 times. Average 30, shoot 50% from the field. Michael Jordan did it 5 times. This is year number 4 for him, which is just crazy when you're trying to compare what he's doing plus 80 straight games, averaging 20. And it's crazy that Michael Jordan games he didn't have 20. How the hell did he not have 20? Now it's a different time, so that has a lot to do with it. But he's a mid-range specialist, so I don't know how that he went a game and didn't get 20 points. I still don't know how that. I need to go see how many games in a row Michael Jordan had 20 points. What's his most 20-point games in a row consecutive? Need to check that out. Chet, 20 points a game, 55% from the field, 40% from three, 80% from the line. Fantastic. But, we need him to be 90, 50, 40, 90, which is a huge accomplishment. That's only happened, I want to say 3 or 4 times. And I'll check that out so we can do that tomorrow. But when you look at that, that's really impressive. And this is what's even more impressive. SGA only played 29 minutes. Okay? And this is a crazy stat. Okay, let me go through that and I'll come back to this in a minute so you can see my face. Isaiah Joe, 18 points. Of course, that's going to drop. 50% from the field, 48% from three. I need those numbers, 75% of the line. I need that at 80% from the line, but love his numbers. A.J. Mitchell, 16, 43, 29% from three. That needs to be up because he gets so many wide open looks. You got to be able to knock down wide open threes. 92% from the line. Love that. Wiggins, 13 points a game, 44 from the field, 36 from three. That needs to go up 66% from the free throw line. That needs to go up. Ihart, 10.8. Remember, he did average 10 points a game, and he averaged double-double almost all of last year. 63% from the field, 62% from the line. The line needs to go up, and I was worried about that, but he great in the postseason shooting from free throw line. I was a little worried about him shooting 60% all year long from free throw, and he was 75 or 80% in the playoffs. Wallace, 9.4, 41% from the field, 39 from three. Like it. Dort, 31% from 7 points, 31% from the field, 19 from three. Can't have that. He has got to get up. Caruso, 6 points, 36% from the field, 36% from three. We need them up. We need him up around 45 or so from the field and run around 40% from three, 38, 40%. I'm not going to be upset here, but those numbers need to go up just a little bit, which I think they will. Jay Will, 5 points a game, 36, 27. Bro, you're shooting too many wide open threes to have 27%. You got to knock down shots, which will bump your average up and make you even that much more available to play for the team. And then Carlson, Youngblood, and Jang, it doesn't really matter about them. So, but anyway, what I was going to tell you about SGA. This is a crazy thing. Okay, I looked this up the other day because he averaged 30-something. He had 14 games last year. that he did not play the fourth quarter. He had 5 games in 23-24 that he did not play the fourth quarter. This year, we played 8 games, and 3 games he has not played the fourth quarter. So when you're sitting there talking about MVPs and you're throwing out Jokic and you're throwing out Jokic, to me, he's the best player in the league. That to me, that's not debatable, okay? But I believe SGA should have had, this should have been last year, should have been his second MVP award. The year before that, he should have won, but like I've said before, he got hurt, and he missed the Celtics, he missed the Sixers, and he missed the Pacers. You make all 3 of those games nationally, I think the race is closer. Last year, undeniably, he was the MVP. That's crazy. To think, Jokic's best player, SGA dominated them, because to me, this is how I look at the MVP when there's 2 guys going against each other. What did y'all do head-to-head? We don't have anybody who can stop Jokic. J. Will can't stop Jokic. iHeart can't stop Jokic. Chet can't stop Jokic. They can't. They don't have anybody to stop SGA either. And when you look at the numbers head-to-head, SGA dominated Jokic and dominated the Nuggets, and we beat them. 3 times last year? I think we beat them 3 out of 4, 2 years in a row or something. So I'm like, they don't have an answer for him. Now they get Bruce Brown back. That's going to help, along with forget whoever else they have, but Watson is not a bad player either. But Denver doesn't put any fear in me. Not like the Lakers, not like the Rockets, and not like the Mavs. And everybody's down on the Mavs. I'm not down on the Mavs because Kyrie's hurt. When they get him back, they get fully strength. I'm telling you, in the playoffs this coming year, this second half of the season, they're going to be a problem. They're going to be a problem. I'm just warning everybody right now what the situation is. But 23-24, when we started this run that we're on, SGA, 5 games, he did not play the fourth quarter. Last year, 14 games, he didn't play the fourth quarter. He's already not played the fourth quarter 3 out of 8 games this year. So, and of the next 2 games, is he going to play the fourth quarter in both of those games? Probably not. So if you do 4 out of every 10 games we play, he doesn't play the fourth quarter, which is, I don't believe that's sustainable. I just don't. But if we can make it 2 out of that, okay? 2 out of that, of our next, what is it, 70 games, whatever it is, 70-something games, but just say 70 games to make it easy. That's 16 games he did not play the fourth quarter. That would have been at the end of the season. 5, 14, 16 games he did not play the fourth quarter. And still averaged 30 and 50. 30 and 50. And remember now, these aren't against just anybody. These aren't against the Charlotte Hornets. I mean, it is, but I'm saying it is against the Clippers. It's been against different teams. It's not just, he doesn't play the fourth quarter, which is great for us, and he needs the rest because he's been playing crazy minutes. But think about that for a second, guys. 23-24, 5 games he didn't play the fourth quarter. 24-25, 14 games he didn't play the fourth quarter. 25-26, we played 8 games, and 3 of the 8 games he has not played the fourth quarter, which is a testament to, number one, our team defense and our coaching staff and ownership and what they put together a team and what the coaches are doing as far as our team defense is crazy. How good we are. Number one in defensive efficiency, as we were last year, because that's how you win games. Games are won on possessions, holding opponents to shooting, not letting them shoot the ball, turning them over so you can get easy baskets. Because what do we talk about? If you're guarding the three-point line, long shots equal long rebounds, equal transitional baskets, equal flow of the game. Turnovers equal transitional baskets, which equal what? Flow of the game. Those are the things that the Thunder eventually are going to get you for a 3 or 4 or 5 minute run. Third quarter, at some point in the game, in the third, fourth quarter, we're going to go on a 3 to 5 minute run where we're going to outscore you 14-2, 18-3, 21-5, whatever. We're going to go on a run. We're going to go on a run. That's defense, what defense and turnovers create. Because people are starting to shoot the three, which is when you got a great defensive team who does fantastic at the perimeter. Because 3 years ago, I've said multiple times, what do the Thunder need? Perimeter defense, inside presence, and better shooting. You get the best you get the best shooting coach in the league from San Antonio, which I still can't believe how they stole Egner from them. And what happens? 2 years ago, what did we do? Perimeter defense and outside shooting. Last year, what happened? Inside presence getting Ihart. That equaled the championship. I've been harping on that for years. All this is all we're missing. Sam Presti slowly put together, and with the additions of Ihart and Caruso and the maturation of Case and Wallace, that's what got us to where we need to do. And then, of course, Dort not committing stupid fouls, which he had been doing. Those are the things that made the Thunder where they are and what's happening. So, now, that being said, remember, we do 10 games at a time, okay? And when we do our 10 games at a time, this is where the Thunder are in these first 10 games. Now, my guy Nathan Taylor of YNB, he had said he thought the Thunder were going to go 10-0, 9-1. That's what he thought. He goes 8-2 at the absolute worst, but 10-0, 9-1. And I said 8-2, 7-3 at worst, because I thought the first game we were going to lose simply because, we're getting awards, it's the Rockets, all this stuff, and so it was going to be tough, and they're one of the toughest opponents. Double overtime W there. Then I thought the Mavericks in Dallas, it's always tough. It's always tough playing them there. I thought that was a chance for us to lose that game. And then the Kings, of course, it's just a tough game. I don't know what it is with us and them, but it's just tough. So those are the games that I looked at. I figured we'd lose one or two of those. And then at the Clippers, at the Blazers, at the Kings again, I figured we'd lose one of the last three. But so far, we are 8-0, and we're on a run. And then now when we go next week, after this weekend, when we do our, next 10 games, dude, it's crazy. The next 10 games, it's crazy. We have a chance to really do something great. And you got to remember, if you're playing, you've got 10 games, you've got 82 games total. So you have 10 games, 10-game scheduled things that we do, okay? If you're going 9-1, 8-2 every time, that's a lot of damn games. And remember, we were 68-14 last year. And we ended up being 84-21. We had 66 games that we won by double digits. Okay? Think about that for a minute. Let that sink in. We lost 14 games, and our coach gave away because of some of the stupid things. He gave away at least 7 games that he just gave because of his lineups and what and I like Daignault. And like I said, he's great at the things he does, and then he's getting better at lineups and flow of the game. He's getting better at it, which hell he should, because he can't go by analytics. It's feel. It's understanding what's going on during the game and what to do based on feel, not what the numbers tell you, which is why we lost to Denver last year. Those are the different things that I talk about that he has to get better at, and that he is getting better at those things. But he still drives me crazy because he's about the long run. I said, bro, it's about winning games. And remember, 2 years ago, we had the number 1 seed. Why? Because Denver gave away a game. And then they lost a game they shouldn't have. So that caused us to get up by them, by us to get the number 1 seed over them, and caused them to get beat and not being able to get a chance to repeat. You can't give away games. I keep trying to explain that to people. You can't give away games. You can't, because you don't know when that one game is going to matter later on down the road. It just will come to get you every single time. Take this opportunity to thank our sponsors, SRB. If you have any needs for engineering, surveying, or planning, hit our guys up over there. And we went and looked at some space about our new podcast. And we like what we may be able to do there if we're going to do a set studio or whatever. And I cannot wait to give you guys the lowdown on that. Oak Grove Trucking, if you have needs for dirt, rock, or sand to be moved, hit our guys up over at Oak Grove Trucking. They love to take care of you. And then, of course, YNB. family owned and operated since 1912. They are the bank that makes things happen. They're an equal housing lender, a member of the FDIC, proud sponsor for us to go out and support women, minority, and black-owned businesses in the Oklahoma City area. You can pre-qualify online at www.ynbok.com. That's www.ynbok.com. Or you can go into one of their 5 locations, the main bank at 401M, 66 steps from historic downtown Yukon, Oklahoma. YB East, which is off the Parkway in 66 or 39th Expressway. YB Mustang, 218 North Mustang Road. YB Parkway, which is off Garth Brooks and I-40. And then YB Peoples, located on 23rd and Bethany between Rockwell and MacArthur. Last but not least, the House of Creed, handcrafted since 1760. It's some great smelling stuff, guys. Great smelling stuff. It really is. And as they always said, Tanya says, Matt, remember, pick the best for your best. And that's what we do. We pick the best for our best. We love that. They got great smelling stuff. Women, if you're a guy and you want your woman to smell good, go get her some perfume. If you're a woman, you like your guy to smell good, there's tons of cologne. They got a bunch of different kinds. And just the thing I love about it smells good. What's so funny is it smells so good in there. I was talking to my guy, Gary Vick. He goes, you know, Matt, whenever I walk in from the mall inside dealers, men's department, he goes, man, it just smells so good because the Creed counter is just basically right there on the left, and you can just smell all the. I mean, I'm telling you, you cannot go wrong going in there and smelling the perfume the cologne. Then get your samples. Tell them that you heard about them on the show, and they will give you some multiple samples. And I'm just going to tell you, it's well worth it. Okay. Now, the Thunder have another game tonight, as we talked about. Against the Blazers, 9 o'clock tonight. Now, last night the game didn't get over until 12:30 or 1. I mean, it was late. I was exhausted. I actually ended up falling asleep in the fourth quarter. When I knew that SGA wasn't going to play, I was so tired I ended up going to sleep. But tonight's game on FanDuel, which I'm going to have to listen to, I can't listen to the guy. I can't listen to the FanDuel. I can't listen to him. If he brings up push shot one more time, I'm like, you're an idiot. He's an idiot. And I'll call him an idiot to his face if I ever meet him. I'm like, man, you're an idiot. What are you doing? Little kids are listening to you trying to say push shot. There's no such word in the basketball vocabulary as push shot. It's a floater or it's a teardrop. There's no such word as push shot. And you're trying to diminish what somebody who has skills is doing. It's not nobody's pushing anything. It's a teardrop. It's a floater. It's a much harder shot than what you're accusing this guy of doing. But of course, you didn't hoop and you weren't very good. And Michael Cage clearly didn't have a floater, or he would correct the guy. Go, hey man, you can't say that. But once again, I cannot listen to those guys. And thank God we have so many TV games that I don't have to listen to these two dudes. And then I just go listen to Matt Pinto. And I switch it on WWLS, which is kind of hard because the radio is different than the TV broadcast on FanDuel. So it's kind of hard to do it because you're listening to Matt Pinto and he's ahead of the FanDuel game on TV, which kind of sucks. But the Blazers are plus 4.5. They're not minus. Okay, it's plus 4.5 because the Thunder are favored tonight by 4.5. They are not. They're not favored over us. Okay, that is wrong. And usually I have the Thunder at the bottom. That's why I have that there. But the Thunder are favored by 4.5, not the Blazers. And when you look at what we're trying to do as a team and as an organization, I don't think there's a possibility. Well, anything can happen. But injury report, the question is, does Dort play tonight? Does he not play tonight? I don't know if he's going to play. Hopefully he is. Hopefully Dort is going to play tonight. I'm hoping that he is. We don't know because that shoulder injury was pretty significant. But if you can win a game, win a game. And if he can play, I believe Dort will play because we don't really need him to shoot that much, but we need his defense to go in there and do what they need to do. Even though Shaden Sharp is hurt, they still have some formidable athletes. And, of course, Grant. I like Jeremy Grant. I liked him when he was with us. Okay, I corrected it right there. Blazers plus 4.5 over under 228.5. I wish my guy Drew Henthorne would come on of Husker Drew Picks so we can get him and get some of his opinions on some of this stuff and how it works out. But that being said, the game tonight is going to be a tough one. It's a back-to-back. It's our second back-to-back. And The question is where he's going to have to go deep in his bench. No question. You're going to have to, you're going to see Barnheiser playing. You're going to see Youngblood playing some minutes. And hopefully SGA can do, like I said, handle his business, go out there and bust their ass and sit the fourth quarter. That's what I'm hoping happens. But the Blazers, it's a tough place to win. They're in Portland. It's not easy, and it's not going to be an easy game to get that done. It's just not. It's just not. So now in NFL tomorrow, well, you know what? Let's do this. I haven't done this in a minute. Let's do our NBA power rankings, okay? And I just did these Monday, I believe. Yeah, I did them Monday. So I might need to go up and update these a little bit because I just pulled them up to see what they look like because I haven't looked at them lately. But I got the Thunder, the Nuggets, the Cavs, the Knicks, the Warriors, and the Spurs, and that can't be right because I already know that I had moved the Spurs up simply because uh, I must not have saved that when I did it because I can tell you now, I know that I upgraded or changed that around because I know that I had the Spurs up because what they've been doing and just watching them. Okay, here we go. Yeah, I never did. I just never did uh, put it down over here. Let's see. Because I know that I had did that earlier, and I know that the Spurs are a team that and they play the Lakers tonight, which is going to be a great game. Let me see. I know that's going to be a great game tonight. And let me see, because I know I had changed that. I'm like, I know must not have done it on my thing, but that's going to be, a great game tonight. We're going to go over the NBA games tonight. Spurs. Okay, here we go. Yeah, Thunder, Spurs, Nuggets. There we go. I was like, I knew I had changed that. Thunder, Spurs, Nuggets, Rockets, Lakers, Sixers, Bucks, Knicks, Cavs, and T Wolves. And they're like, why do you still have the Cavs in there? Because the Cavs are a good team. Don't and when they get Darius Garland back, they're going to be a handful. The Bucks are playing better. The Sixers are unbelievable, and the Lakers are winning without Luca and without LeBron. Which I was like, wow, they won a game without Luca and LeBron last night, and no Austin Reeves. He didn't play last night either. So they had a big win last night. So that tells me that they are playing together as a group. But we'll see if they're not playing tonight, what's going to happen. Because if they aren't playing the Spurs, they don't have the whole squad tonight. The Spurs are visiting the Lakers. It's going to be a completely different story. I can tell you that. It's going to be a completely different story. But this is my top 10 that I have as of this week. Thunder, Spurs, Nuggets, Rockets, Lakers are my top 5. And then I got Sixers, Bucks, Knicks, Cavs, T-Wolves. It seems like I got all the Eastern Conference teams, 6 through 10, even though I did add the T-Wolves. And Anthony Edwards is not playing right now, and people are like, why do you have him in there? Because that's a respect thing. Don't get yourself twisted. They are one of the best teams in the league. Anyway, you have the T Wolves and the Knicks tonight. 6:30. The Knicks are favored by 3.5, and that game's going to be at 6:30 on ESPN. And then, of course, the Spurs and the Lakers tonight at 9. The same time the Thunder game is. So what I'll be doing is I'll probably watching uh, this game on my phone, and then have the Thunder game on my on the TV. So that's probably what I'll be doing. Or I do have the little uh, ThinkPad thing. I can put that. You know what? I can put it on my ThinkPad, so I can watch it on my ThinkPad and watch the Thunder game on my ThinkPad, and then, or excuse me, watch the Thunder game on the big screen and watch these games on my ThinkPad through. Through Hulu, which is what I have. So I can do that. That's what I'll do. That way I can watch this. But the Lakers are favored by 2.5, which means that Austin Reeves is playing, probably Luka's playing. That's what that means to me. If it's 2.5, they're favored over the Spurs. That has to be why that is. Okay, has to be, because there's no way they should be sprayed. If they're not playing, there's no way the hell they should be favored over the Spurs. I just can't. I can't see that happening at all. I just can't. So anyway, that is my takes for today. Hope everybody's going fantastic. I'm in the process. I gotta go take. I'm getting another computer. Just ordered, just coming in, so I got to get this dropped off so that he can switch off because he's back to working. And he says, "Man, this computer could work a year. It could work 2 days." So we're trying to get everything moved off of this, and I can keep this computer at home because it's on its last leg. And then my other computer I can take with me to do our remotes because Tomorrow, we're going to do a remote, and we'll be gone tomorrow out on a remote, Friday on a remote, uh, Monday on a remote, Tuesday on a remote. So we'll be on 5 remotes next week, even it's going to be freezing cold. We'll see if it's not wet. If it's just cold, it's not going to matter. But hopefully it'll just be cold and not wet and cold at the same time. So anyway, that being said, hey, Thunder up tonight, 9 o'clock on FanDuel. Like I said, I'll have it on silent because I'll be watching the other game because I don't really care. I'll just because I have my notes and I have all my stuff, so I can follow it that way. But I cannot listen to those guys on FanDuel. I can't. I just can't do the push shot. I can't. I just can't do it. I, I'm not only I can't. I'm not going to listen to him. Being a basketball player that I am, and I've never shot a push shot in my life. It's called a floater. Your hand is flat, just like this. And I can't deal with I can't deal with someone who's not professional enough to know what the hell a shot is and is trying to be cute and trying to be cool and trying to make up some kind of name. Bro, you're not treating us with the respect that we need as a player by you trying to create something because you did not play. It's a floater. Stop calling it a push shot. You're wearing me out. I can't listen to them because of that. And it's so funny is the things that you listen to on the national broadcast, they don't even bring up on our broadcast about the Thunder. That's what's funny. Because I was texting somebody and they were like, wait a minute, I'm listening to Fan the way I said, yeah, you don't have to. You turn over here. Because we were texting about what they were saying on TV, and he goes, the people on FanDuel, they don't even bring up stuff that we're doing, that we're talking about. They don't bring it up. How is a national broadcast? Hey, Alex, what's up? And my thing is, how on a national broadcast are they bringing up stuff that your own team does not do? Your own broadcast team does not bring up stuff that the national TV do. How is that? How are they not giving you little bits and creases, little bits of information that the national people are giving you? How is that exactly? What's up, Alex? How you doing? Go Lakers. Yeah, that Spurs Lakers game is going to be interesting tonight. I'm still afraid of the Lakers. I still have them ranked fifth. I don't know if you, Alex, if you saw my list, but I do have the Lakers 5 on my top 5 power rankings. Because for you to win without Luca, without LeBron, and without Reeves last night, that was a big win. But playing the Spurs, it's going to be a different animal. So Reeves, you better be playing. Luca, you need to be playing because if neither one of them playing, the Spurs are going to kick their butt. That's what I think, Alex. But like I said, I'm just waiting for LeBron to leave so that I can do my thing. So I can wear my stuff again because I haven't put on Lakers stuff in 4 years. Can't deal with Bron. When he leaves, I'll be a Laker fan again. But when he's there, yeah, I'm not. Well, I'm a Thunder fan because it had been for years. It was Lakers 1, Thunder 1A. Reeves is out tonight, and so is Luca too. If Luca and Reeves are out tonight, the Spurs are going to kick their butt. What is the spread tonight on that? 2.5? What was it? Let me see. They had the Lakers favored. That could not be right. You know what I'm saying? That could not be right. The Lakers can't be favored in that game tonight. There's no way. Let me see. Let me pull that up real quick. Uh, Lakers, Spurs odds. Yeah, they're slight favorite. Let me see. It's minus 2.5 now. I just okay. Luca's playing. Okay, that makes sense then because I'm like, how the hell are they favored if Luca's not playing? But Wimby has been everything. He is a true unicorn. Uh, the bench has been stepping up for the Lakers 100%, Alex. 100%. The bench has stepped up tremendously for the Lakers, helping them do what they need to do. I agree with that. It's been crazy doing what they're doing. And, J.J. Redick is actually turning out to be a pretty good coach. Now, it may be better that LeBron's not out on the court and he had to deal with, appeasing him. So that might have a lot to do with it. But, the Lakers have clearly moved on from him and something like that. So it's going to be a good game, but San Antonio scares the hell out of me. They just do. Uh, what is that? Oh my Facebook, I guess, just popped offline. But anyway, yeah, there we go. I don't know what's going on with that. But I've been having all kinds of. I need a new system, and it's coming. A new system is coming up. I've got to get one, and this thing is screwing up right now. So, but I'm gonna need a new system getting this done. But anyway, Alex, we'll talk tonight. Hopefully, the Thunder game will be over earlier than 12:30, like it was last. That was just way too late last night. So anyway, we'll do the show tonight, and we'll be able because I'm going to watch the Lakers and Spurs game on my little my notebook, and then I'm gonna watch the Thunder game here on the screen. But I'm gonna have it. I'm going to have it. The sound off, and I'm going to be listening to the other game because I got to listen to people who know what the hell they're talking about. I can't listen to the nonsense that these people are saying on the Thunder channel. But anyway, brother, thank you for coming on. And I appreciate you guys. I got to get out of here and go train some kids and get them ready for the next level. Peace out. Remember, world champions 2025.